Call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Trish.
Mrs. Brew?
Here.
Mr. Kramer?
Here.
Mr. Menegini?
Here.
Mr. Oja?
Here.
Mr. Pop?
Here.
We'll move on to the approval of the agenda. Any changes or?
No.
No.
Oh, one change that we will not have a presentation from Mike Peters from WPPI.
Do I have a motion on the agenda?
I'll make a motion we approve the agenda with the change.
Support.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Oja?
Yes.
Mr. Pop?
Yes.
Mrs. Brew?
Yes. Move on to the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of January 8th, 2018. Do I have a motion on the minutes?
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes of the regular meeting of January 8th.
Support.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Oja?
Yes.
Mr. Pop?
Yes.
Mrs. Brew?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
We'll move on to the manifest. Scott, any questions?
I have no questions, mate.
Brett?
No, I do not.
Lee?
I had one here, let me dig it out. No, just a question, Ray, on the police training bonuses, is that a yearly thing?
That's an annual.
And was that all officers included in that?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I want to know.
Jeremy?
No question.
Okay. If not, I got a motion on the approval of the manifest.
I'll make a motion we approve manifest 2018-2 in the amount of $237,342.23.
Support.
I'm sorry, was that Pop? Mr. Oja?
Yes.
Mr. Pop?
Yes.
Mrs. Brew?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
This time to address the audience. If there's any questions on the agenda, you can come up now. There's none. All right, and we will move on to approval special events application from the Norway Community Easter egg hunt. Mr. Anderson.
There's actually two special events. They come up every year, and the first is the Easter egg hunt. That's Easter weekend, and that's a well-attended event in the city of Norway at Marion Park. It's for council's approval. Use the park and get ready for the event. It'll be March 31st, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
I think it's a great event, and we're very lucky to have it here in Norway, and, just thank the Clykamp family and whoever helps them put this on every year, because there's a lot of work that goes into it, and they put a lot of smiles on children's faces out there every year.
I've seen what they do, and they've been working on this already. Every
Yeah.
weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Every spare minute that they got, and any family member or friend has, they're up there. It's a great event.
It's kind of snowballed from the initial one,
Yeah.
but I think this is the 26th year now.
Wow. I make the motion that Easter egg hunt be approved at Marion Park.
Support.
Mr. Pop?
Yes.
Mrs. Brew?
Yes?
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Oja?
Yes.
We'll move on to the approval of the special event application for the Lions Club picnic.
Yeah, this is a July event, but no sense waiting around. We got the application for the use of Marion Park. And again, I think we're fortunate to have the Lions Club put on this event. It's well attended. People look forward to the event, and so we have it for council's approval to use the park.
And I agree with Mr. Anderson. This is an event that's been going on for years. It used to be held at the lakes, but we're very fortunate that they bring it to our Marion Park now every year. and thank everybody who also works on that.
And the Lions Club, they do a lot of good service for the area.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion, special events application from the Lions Club be approved.
Support.
Mrs. Brew?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menagini?
Yes.
Mr. Ocha?
Yes.
Mr. Pop?
Yes.
We'll move on to Resolution 2018-01.
Okay, thank you, Madam Mayor. This resolution was requested by WPPI. We have utilized WPPI funding and energy efficiency funding for different LED-type projects in the past. One of the requirements is that we have a resolution of support from the council. The last resolution of support was in 2011, so they asked us to freshen that resolution up. We also changed our output from 5% down to 2%. So there's a notice within the resolution that says we're going to target 2% energy savings. And I think that's common when it comes to energy efficiency, is that you get all the easy stuff first and it's a big savings. Now we're gonna look for other areas of opportunity, and the savings aren't gonna be as great, but we're still gonna challenge ourselves and try and find those.
Is that the only difference between your last contract with
Yeah,
them?
yes.
And we're not binded to anything?
No, it's just a resolution of support, and they'll need that when we look for funding.
Okay. Do I have a motion on that, or any other questions before we have a motion?
Is that 2% something you think we can realistically obtain?
I think so. You know, we can, when you get to the 2% area, you're looking at it, weatherproofing. We've been tweaking our HVAC system since it was put in. So those are different areas that you can look at to bring it down.
I'll make a motion, Resolution 2018-1 be approved.
Support.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menagini?
Yes.
Mr. Ocha?
Yes.
Mr. Pop?
Yes.
Mrs. Brew?
We'll move on to the approval of DPW purchase request, automatic tire chains.
We're bringing this back because, no council pointed out at the last meeting, about the shipping, and went back to Rick, and he said the shipping was not included in the approved amount from UP International Truck. So he made the contacts and changed the numbers, and the Olson trailer proposal did have shipping included, but UP International did not. So that was a change in the amount.
Any questions on this?
Are these the same make, Ray? These, like
Yes.
Ford and Chevy, it is the same?
It's the same. In fact, Mr. Schreiber did recommend us to now go with Olson, and that would have been his initial recommendation as well. But since he didn't put it down, I told him that. Since if he has a recommendation, make sure he puts it in there so that we know. Otherwise, we're just going to evaluate it like we did, which is totally appropriate.
That's his recommendation, I'm fine with it.
He also said that UP was actually going to get Olson to ship them, the equipment. So they were working together. So I think that's correct, isn't it, Trish? That he said?
That's what he said.
Okay, do we have a motion on that?
I'll make a motion, DPW purchase request for tire chains be approved for Olson Trucking for the amount not to exceed $1,699. Sorry, Olson Trailer and Body, for amount not to exceed $1,699.
Support.
Mr. Menagini?
Yes.
Mr. Ocha?
Yes.
Mr. Pop?
Yes.
Mrs. Brew?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Okay, then we'll move on to the approval USDA RDWWTP project pay request.
Okay, this is a standard pay request we do the second meeting of each month. We're down to just the wastewater project. They have a pay request of $229,140.06. The overall project budget / performance is on the front page of the report. So,
Is this the last pay request, did you say?
no, it's not the last pay request. I'm working with them right now on, well, working with Mead and Hunt. Mead and Hunt is putting together, there are some change order requests, and there's gonna be some future pay requests.
That's why I wanted to make sure this wasn't our last payment
No, and, you know, knowing that,
before we make,
I've been pretty aggressive on them now as to get the change order requests in, at least so we can evaluate it based on the budget as a whole. And we're still, you know, we're still within the overall budget, but we are nicking into the, you know, the equipment, and like we talked about, we're holding off to the end before we move on anything else.
is this the last pay request for Gunlock Champion?
No.
It's not?
No.
Because we have some things to make sure that we work out.
Yep. Yep, they still have some work to do. The project goes all the way through May,
Okay.
so I'm sure they don't want to be here till May, but that's where the contract date is.
And do I have a motion on that?
I'll make a motion that we approve the USDA RDWWTP project pay request in the amount of $229,140.06.
Support.
Mr. Oja?
Yes.
Mr. Pop?
Yes.
Mrs. Brew?
Yes?
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Ray, when'd you say it's supposed to go until? When'd you say? In the spring?
May.
April? May?
Mid-May, yeah. I think it was May 21st. It's the date, but.
At this time, if there's anyone in the audience that wishes to address the council, there's nobody here tonight, so I guess there's nobody to address the council. We'll move on to council comments. Scott?
I have none tonight. It's just, be safe out there.
I have none as well. Just drive careful on the way home.
Keeping my mouth shut.
Oh, okay.
No comments tonight.
No comments? And I have none. Grant?
I'm not gonna break that. No comments.
Mr. Anderson?
I'm not gonna break that either. I'm not gonna break it either.
Trish? Nothing?
Oh, I do have, sorry. We had a little computer glitch with Channel 7, and so we're gonna run the previous meeting one more time for Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, and then we'll run this meeting the rest of the 2 weeks.
Yeah, because I did call and have questions on that, and Jamie cleared it up for me,
Yeah.
because I did have some people question me why that wasn't,
Sound went out.
no, it wasn't playing at all, I guess.
No, we have an older system, and it's not easy to run. And so we actually are looking at easier ways to handle. It's actually not going to involve an expensive piece of equipment. There's actually, with going digital, we can actually save money in this area. So
Okay.
we're looking at those options.
Okay, and then, I did forget, what is the date again on, we will be moving over to the digital?
Oh, February 6th.
So the community knows February 6th we'll be going over to digital,
We have advertised that. That's it, yeah.
and I have seen it on the TV and everything, just so everybody is aware, if they have an older TV, if they need the box, they will need it by that date.
I do have one question. The hydro progress.
Hydro Progress, the stator, we had a repair, and that's all it was. It doesn't involve any major work. So that was good news. So everything's put that together, and it's,
Everything's back up and running.
everything's back up and running. It sounds good. I was down there today. Thing looks good. And we're moving forward, you know, with the runner project, so.
And where are we at with, the contract?
Well, Grant, you've been dealing with the last legal issue, so I think we're getting pretty close, aren't we?
Seems like daily, daily or weekly, Hugo and I are chatting with Leadistro. We've come down, we've kind of just keep checking out the final lists and final issues as they come about. I think we're down to hopefully the last issue. We have a conference call tomorrow with some folks to try to get a final question on our end, if the language is acceptable from their end with our insurance company. Just running it by them to work them in and get their input, make sure they're comfortable with some of the language as well. And I think, knock on wood, that would be the last issue to hopefully finalize. I've said that about 2 or 3 times now, but each time something else pops up. And frankly, some of those things that keep popping up, it's just, we're not comfortable until we have those answers. So we're doing our diligence, and Hugo's doing a nice job of working with, on behalf of Leadistro, to answer our questions and go, I think, to a large degree, I won't say above and beyond, but he's been very helpful with finding answers for us as well that we're not comfortable with. So hopefully it should be coming to a head and have that part finalized on that end very shortly.
Meeting adjourned.
I'll make the motion, we adjourn.
Support.
Mrs. Brew.
Yes.
Mr. Kramer.
Yes.
Mr. Menegini.
Yes.
Mr. Oja.
Yes.
Mr. Pop.
Yes.
See, I don't do that at my school board meeting. That's why